Halftime score here at Gerke Field in Stevens Point. Stevens Point 14 and Marshfield 7. As we get set for second half action, I think, Dale, many people thought this game would be not perhaps real competitive, that Marshfield would be outclassed tonight. That certainly has not been the case in this ball game this evening.
Well, we could say that Marshfield's been its own worst enemy so far, with penalties, the failure to get the ball in the end zone from the 3-yard line with 4 cracks, and then giving the ball back to Spash, and that allowed them to drive the field and go ahead and score their second touchdown of the ball game. Of course, Spash has missed a couple wide open passes as well, so if you're a Spash Panther fan, you can look at that side of it too.
Here's the kickoff by Gus Butek. Bryce Dominic and Clay Geezy back deep. End over end kick to the far side. Geezy on the 10. Far sideline, the 20. Now bursts across the 30-yard line. Pulled down from behind around the 33-yard line. That tackle made by Ross Zillman. And Spash puts the ball in play at their own 33. That kickoff, a service of Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red from Rail Transport of Marshfield.
I want to tell you, that was a big play by Zillman too, because that returner had 5 guys in front of him in a wedge. Zillman somehow managed to slide behind the wedge and make the tackle, or the Spash returner could be still running on that one.
Stevens Point offense on the field. 1st and 10, Spash at their own 33. Gregorich in the shotgun. On first down, he'll pitch it near side.
Peterson.
It's Gregorich out of the pitch comes to the near side to Jesse Mays. Colbeck not in the ballgame on that play. Mays at tailback, and Mays runs out across the 40 to the 41, gains 8 yards on the play.
Boy, Peterson was being double teamed. They tried to drive him off the line. He did everything he could to try to turn that back in, and eventually buckled somewhat under the double team, but I was still very impressed by his play there, despite the fact that Spash got 8 yards on that play.
May still in the ballgame at tailback. Tyler Vandry, one receiver. Geezy, the other. On second down, the handoff goes to May straight ahead to midfield and knocked down right there as he crosses the 50-yard line, moves into Marshfield territory. That will be a first down. Brennan Nelson, Stevens Point's one of their top receivers. In fact, their number 1 receiver is on the sidelines having his shoulder examined, and the starting tailback, Colbeck, has not been in the ballgame for those first 2 plays. 10 yards from Mays. 1st and 10, Spash at their own 44-yard line. Gregorich back in the shotgun. Now it's Colbeck who gets the carry. B takes a big hit. There's a big collision from Ross Zillman. Colbeck got back in the ballgame on that play, and Zillman made him pay with a big hit at the 47, a gain of 1.
Oh, Justin Sternweiss in on the play too, Gene. I've seen him make some big hits for the Tigers in the last couple of weeks. We talk about Hasseroth from his linebacker spot, but Sternweiss also showing up defensively for the Tigers the last couple of weeks.
2nd and 9, Spash at their own 47. Gregorich from the shotgun gets the snap and fakes the handoff, throws deep down the far sideline for Geezy. That ball's knocked down. A great defensive play by Dan Stanley. He was one-on-one with Geezy, went up and got one hand up in the air and knocked that ball aside.
And he did it from behind, too, a very tough thing to do without incurring some pass interference that we saw happen to the Tigers in the first half with a nice play by Sully Lipke, but the officials felt that he got too much of the receiver going over his back, but that time Stanley somehow managed to avoid it, got up high, met the ball at the highest point. Very nice defensive play by Dan.
And Nelson comes back into play receiver. 3rd and 9 for Stevens Point at their own 47. 2 receivers on the far side. Gregorich in the shotgun, rolls towards the far side, stops and floats it down the far sideline. Incomplete. Threw the ball by Geezy at the Marshfield 45-yard line. Incomplete. And it's a 4th and long for Spash.
Justin Sternweiss coming on the blitz there and got to Gregorich a little bit early. Gregorich able to get rid of the ball, but he had Sternweiss breathing down on him. Had to get rid of the ball a little sooner than what he wanted to.
J.T. Ford punting for Stevens Point. Brad Dolzal to receive at his 10-yard line. Good snap. Ford's kick is away. End over end kick. Dolezal fumbles the football. The ball loose inside the 20-yard line, and Stevens Point has it. Dolezal tried to come up and make a shoestring catch, lost possession of the football, and Matt Jansen falls on the ball at the Marshfield 17-yard line.
Yeah, Dolezal coming forward, trying to make that sinking liner catch, as you mentioned, down around the ankles, and just as he was about to do so, he was also hit by Bryce Dominic from Spash, who also helped cause that turnover.
So Stevens Point has the football on the Marshfield 17-yard line. 9:55 remaining in the third quarter, and Spash on top 14-7, and now in position to go up by 2 scores. Gregorich in the shotgun. Kolbeck the tailback. Vandry goes in motion. Gregorich hands the ball to Kolbeck, hit immediately and dropped for a loss. Some great penetration on that play by Sternweiss.
There's Sternweiss again on the blitz. Blitzing is from his left linebacker spot.
And Kolbeck will lose 2 on that play. Ball is back at the 19-yard line, 2nd and 12. Boy, the Tigers, Sternweiss, Zillman, Hazeroat, Peterson, Wartella once or twice have made some big defensive plays tonight.
Tigers better hit that big tight end, that TJ Ford, or JT Ford from Stevens Point. He's possibly going to figure into something here near the goal line.
2nd and 12, Spash at the Marshfield 19. Wideouts on both sides.
Option.
Gregorich in the shotgun, runs the option, pitches back to Mays to the near sideline. Sternweiss grabs him, holds him down at the 19, but he got a horse collar call.
Oh, they got him by the back of the shoulder pads and pulled him down. Didn't need to do that. He got there, but it's just one of those things as a defensive player. You reach out, you react, you grab, and he got the back of the shoulder pads, and tough break for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers have had some very inopportune penalties tonight. There's one right there. That play would have gone for no gain, instead a call against Marshfield once again.
Boy, Sternweiss came flying across the field. I've really been impressed by his speed and movement from that linebacker spot. Unfortunately, making the mistake there with the grab.
And now the ball station just inside the Tiger 10. And still 2nd down here, 2nd and about 2.5, just inside the 10-yard line. Mays at tailback, out of the eye. Gregorich gives to the fullback Dominic. He gets stood up. There's a flag going down, and Peterson and several other Tigers bring Dominic down around the 8, short yardage. Dominic, a tough guy to bring down at 5'10", 213, but we have a holding call against Stevens Point.
Okay. Boy, Dominic got stood up by somebody there at the line of scrimmage, fell forward, but somebody jacked him up in there. Couldn't see who it was from our distance here.
The ball's coming back to about the 20. Only about 1 yard on that gain by Dominic. And they'll mark the ball right just on the other side of the 20-yard line. It is still 2nd down, but now 2nd and about 12, maybe 13. 8:40 remaining, third quarter. Spash leads 14-7.
They like the option. They also like that little flare pass to Kolbeck out of the back. Oh, they're lined up for it here, too.
Vandry and Giese wide to the far side, out of the eye. Gregorich back to pass, gets hit, throws across the middle. It's knocked away by Lipke, incomplete. Quick pass to Ford, and a good rush there by Sternweiss, and that forced the quarterback Gregorich to throw the ball a bit too early. Could not get there. It was a low throw, and Lipke knocked it down anyway.
Kolbeck Gregorich turning to his left side, and then had to try to turn back around and get something on the throw. Couldn't get enough on it, and then also got decked by Sternweiss. So Sternweiss been very active for the Tigers on this series.
Now a 3rd down play, 3rd and 13 for Spash at the Tiger 20-yard line. Vandry far side, Giese near side. Gregorich in the shotgun. Horvath, the fullback, going in motion. Gregorich rolling far side, looks to throw, stops, starts to run, gets hit by Peterson and taken down at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward for 1 yard. 1 yard on the play. Peterson busts up that play. Ball's on the 19-yard line. It'll be 4th down here, 4th and about 12 at the 19-yard line. And we'll see what Stevens Point wants to do about a field goal. Dylan Schmenk has 2 field goals this year. A 20-yarder against Kenosha Bradford, a 30-yarder against Superior. They'll mark the ball here about the 25, and so this would be a 35-yard field goal try for Dylan Schmenk, would be his longest of the year. Ball is down, kick is away, the kick is long enough, the kick is good. It's a 35-yard field goal for Dylan Schmenk, which increases the Stevens Point lead. We have 7:41 remaining in the third quarter, and our score a service of the Sports Den, South Central Avenue in Marshfield. It's Stevens Point 17 and the Marshfield Tigers 7. We'll have more football in just a moment.
Yeah. That's it.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Well, the fumbled punt by the Tigers does lead to 3 points for Stevens Point. They're now up by 10 as Shank prepares to kick off for Stevens Point. Our kickoff sponsored by Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. The kick by Schmenk to the far side and grabbed by Lysecki on the 6. To the 15, the 20, 25, up the sideline with a lot of room across the 45-yard line and stopped at midfield. Or the Tigers have returned their last 2 kickoffs a long, long way, and Lysecki almost broke that one.
That's why you're seeing teams year after year now starting to kick away from the deep backs, pooching punts down the sidelines to pin the Tigers against the side, but Tigers special teams again putting them in good field position. Give the Tiger defense credit on that last series for only giving up 3, Gene.
Marshfield football on the Spash 49. 7:30 remaining, third quarter. Tigers trail 17-7 on first down. Steeman back to pass, throws deep across the middle, and Peyton Marshall lays out but can't make a diving catch at the 30-yard line. Good effort by Peyton on that deep pass across the middle, just could not reach it.
Pretty good pass protection there on first down by the Tigers, but see, they were able to run the ball some in the first half, and the play action fake is holding those linebackers and also holding the pass rush, and also that middle screen has got Point a little bit more timid on the pass rush as well.
Ashbeck now at quarterback, 2nd and 10 for Marshfield at the Spash 49. Rollins now shifts and lines up on the near side. Here's a pitch play. Van Tassel coming near side with blockers. Good block by Dolzal, but can't turn the corner and grabbed by the ankles and stopped on the 46-yard line by linebacker Matt Jansen. Dolzal or Van Tassel gets 3 on the play.
Good block by Rollins from his tight end spot, sealing the corner. Good block by Dolzal, but you have to give even more credit to that Stevens Point linebacker who fought off a block. Jansen did a nice job there. Still a gain, though, for Van Tassel.
And Steeman comes back into play quarterback. 3rd and about 7 for the Tigers at the Spash 46. Dolzal lines up as a slot on the far side. Steeman in the shotgun. Van Tassel next to him. Steeman gets a high snap. It goes by him again. He'll go back and pick it up and throw it to the near sideline where it is caught by Lysecki at the 45-yard line for a 1-yard gain.
Steeman's pass complete.
Second time tonight that the Tigers have been victimized by an errant snap past quarterback Chris Steeman. That play gains only 1 yard and leaves Marshfield with a 4th and 6.
Yeah, the previous bad snap left to a -22 after Tigers were driving from deep in their own territory and getting out from the shadow of their end zone.
Sully Lipke now on to punt. Bryce Dominic does not go back. Nobody back. Good snap. And Sully kicks it high but not real deep to the near sideline and bounces out of bounds around the Stevens Point 20-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt for Sully Lipke, who is averaging 42 yards per kick coming into this ballgame.
A 37-yard punt and a 42-yard kick thus far.
So it's Spash football on their own 20, 5:57 remaining in the third quarter. Stevens Point lead 17-7. We have our boomerang touchdowns once again tonight. Kick returns, punt returns, fumble returns, or interceptions. Sponsored by the Festival Foods Boomerang Theory. Every decision they make is based on bringing you, the customer, back to their store. Spash football on their own 20-yard line. Gregorich in the shotgun, pitches to Kolbeck, heads for the far side, crosses the 25, and gang tackled there by Sternweiss and by Logan Schmitz. Kolbeck gains 5 on that run.
Just a student body right sweep, just pitching the ball back and getting a couple extra blockers out in front. Nothing fancy about that, just power football around the corner.
Kolbeck replacing Austin Sikorsky, who last year ran for 1,428 yards and 23 touchdowns. He's now playing for Minnesota Duluth. 2nd and 5 for Stevens Point at their own 25. High backfield behind Gregorich. Nelson comes through in motion. Gregorich back to pass and starts to run to the near sideline. Peterson in pursuit, throws near side. The catch is made by Giese at the 40, around a tackler to midfield and into Marshfield territory, run out of bounds at the Marshfield 46.
I'll give a lot of credit to Gregorich. It looked like he was in trouble and started to run with the football, then pulled it down. His receiver along the sideline, Giese, did what a good receiver does, and that's come back to the ball, and therefore a big play for Stevens Point.
28 yards on the pass play, a first down for Spash at the Marshfield 47-yard line. Now 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and Marshfield trails 17-7.
5 catches for Giese for 69 yards. That was his longest catch of the game.
He now has 9 catches this season. Mike Blake, wide out near side, goes in motion. Gregorich takes the snap, back to pass, stops, and throws to the far sideline over Giese's head, incomplete. Pass was a bit too hard or too high. Giese tipped it in the air. No Tiger back there to make an interception. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for Stevens Point at the Marshfield 47-yard line. Tigers down by 10, would like to make a defensive stand, get the ball back here.
Dan Drock now in for Dan Stanley at a quarterback position for the Tigers.
Okay. Blake and Giese on the far side on 2nd and 10. Gregorich in the shotgun. Hands off to Kolbeck, straight ahead, breaks a couple of tackles. Then Peterson and Lipke and Hazeroat, no, that's Zillman, combined on the tackle at about the 41-yard line. 6-yard gain on the play. 3rd and about 3.5 now for Stevens Point, just shy of the Tiger 40-yard line. Gregorich checking with his coaches, now heading back on the sidelines.
Stevens Point chewing up big seconds off the clock here again. Another drive going, gaining way too much on first down situations.
Wideouts on both sides. Gregorich in the shotgun. Blake goes in motion. Gregorich gets the snap, hands to Kolbeck, and he has the first down at the 35. Carries down to about the 33-yard line. Gang tackled there. Tough running on the inside by Tanner Kolbeck. He's a good-sized guy, 6 foot 177.
Maybe not the speed demon that we've seen from Sikorsky and a couple of the other Spash running backs over the last 10 years or so, but it looks like he's a pretty hard runner, getting much of his yardage inside tonight.
And a first down for Spash at the Tiger 33. Clock still moving. 3:55 remaining in the third quarter. Stevens Point lead 17-7. Blake to the near side. Giese wide far side. Mays comes into play tailback. Kolbeck is out. Gregorich gets the snap, looks to throw far sideline. Catch made by Giese at the 30, and he stumbles forward to the 28-yard line. Tackled right there by Justin Sternweiss.
Did you see Mays coming around the outside for the old hook and lateral on that one, too? They're setting that up.
Yep. Saw that. 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5 for Stevens Point at the Tiger 28-yard line. This drive began on the Stevens Point 20. They moved to the Marshfield 28 in 5 plays, thanks to a big 29-yard pass play to Giese earlier in this possession. Vandry to the near side, Blake on the far side, both starting receivers now on the bench. Gregorich in the shotgun, Kolbeck at tailback, and Gregorich rolls to the near sideline, stops, throws back far side to Kolbeck at the 30. A lot of running room, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and he'll get in the end zone for the touchdown.
Wow, throwback screen, roll out to this side and throw it all the way back to the other side of the field. Kolbeck standing there by himself with 3 linemen downfield already out in front of him. I was looking downfield and there were linemen making blocks 20 yards ahead of Kolbeck on the poor single cornerback the Tigers had out there. Well executed play by Spash.
And that's a 7-play, 80-yard scoring drive. Gregorich now with a rushing touchdown and a touchdown throw in this ball game. 28-yarder on that play. Schmenk will try to kick the PAT. Ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
And the extra point is good.
And our extra points, a service of Wheelers of Marshfield. Make it a point to see them for an oil change every 3,000 miles. 2:48 left in the third quarter. Spash now leads 24-7. We'll come back in just a moment.
Daddy, why is the sky blue?
Well, to match your pretty eyes.
Nope, not even close. See, all colors have wavelengths that are diffused by oxygen and nitrogen. Since blue is the shortest wavelength, it's diffused up to 10 times more.
Who taught you that?
Mommy?
By age 12, too many girls lose interest in math and science and their chance at future jobs. Keep her interest alive.
You know why mathematics is the basis of life as we know it?
You tell me.
It's her future. Do the math.
Marshfield now down by 17 as the Stevens Point Panthers prepare to kick off. Dylan Schmenk will kick off once again for Spash. Our kickoff sponsored by Rail Transport of Marshfield, the Take Home More, Be Home More carrier. Experience the power of red with Rail Transport. The kick by Schmenk is away. It's a line drive far side. And bounces to Lysecki on the 9, coming to the near sideline, the 20, has an alley across the 35 to the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle, carries out to about the 48.
Boy, the Tigers have done a nice job setting up the wall on their kicks. They usually go towards their bench side, but changed it up this time and ran that one right in front of the Spash bench. There was a nice wall of returners, or of blockers out here in front of Lysecki, who's got some good wheels, got to the wall, another nice gain. Now Tigers have to do something with it.
First and 10, Marshfield at their own 48. Tigers now down by 17. Steeman playing quarterback from the eye. He looks to throw far sideline, knocked down. A very fine play by Spash defensive back Caleb Finn, who cut in front of Lysecki to knock the ball down at the 48-yard line.
Lysecki's got to come off the ball a step or two hard there and drive that defender back before the slant. That would help him. Slanting right away, quarterback looking right at him. It gave time for the cornerback to come in there and jump that play.
Second and 10 for Marshfield at their own 48-yard line. Ashbeck late coming in.
Late getting the play from the sidelines, yeah.
Lysecki to the near side, Marshall to the far side. Dolezal and Van Tassel in the eye. Ashbeck gives to Van Tassel, heading for the far sideline. Not much running room. He'll dive forward for about one. Stopped on the 49-yard line, 1 yard on the play. So a 3rd and 9 for the Tigers at their own 49-yard line. Our insurance points of the game this evening, sponsored by Randy Lemoyne, your American Family Insurance agent in Marshfield. 3rd and 9 for Marshfield at their own 49-yard line. Steeman at quarterback. Wide receivers on either side. Steeman back to pass. Across the middle, it's intercepted. It's picked off by that linebacker Jensen, heading down to the near sideline across the 30, breaking tackles to the 25-yard line. Matt Jensen makes the pass interception. That's the second interception thrown by Steeman this season. And the Tigers' second turnover in this ball game.
Steeman trying a little fake to Dolezal on a fullback, a dive, and then tried to stand up and lift the ball to Rollins over the middle, and I'm sure he never saw Jansen, the linebacker, who dropped back just underneath Rollins at the last second and picked it off. Nice defensive play there by that linebacker, and Tigers again shooting themselves in the foot in this ball game.
And the Spash offense back on the field. They have the football on the Marshfield 24. Gregorich from the shotgun formation. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, gets hit before he can do anything by Sternweiss and knocked down back at the 30-yard line. And Gregorich will lose 6 on that play. We'll call that a quarterback sack, sponsored by Quality Roofing of Marshfield. Sternweiss gets the sack, his first of the season. I'm not sure that was a pass play or not. That happened so quickly. Was not sure what Gregorich planned on that play. Loss of 6, the ball's back on the 30-yard line, 2nd and 16, with 40 seconds remaining in the period. Blake and Geezy, the wide receivers. Gregorich back in the shotgun. Gregory gets a low snap, grabs it, throws across the middle, caught there by Blake at the 25-yard line, sidesteps tacklers down to about the 21. Went right around Zach Schwartz is in the ball game, playing in the secondary, and gained 9 on the play. Leaves Spash with a 3rd and 7.
Tiger cornerbacks, for the most part, since early in this ball game, have been playing off 5 or 6 yards and giving Spash the short underneath throw. That time, Blake also making a nice move to pick up some extra yardage there and make up for that -6 yards on that quarterback sack.
Well, that play will end the 3rd quarter here at Gerke Field in Stevens Point. Our score, a service of the Sports Den, South Central Avenue in Marshfield, Stevens Point 24, and the Marshfield Tigers 7. We'll return with 4th quarter action in just a moment.
I'm looking for a wallet.
Ah, celebrating high school graduation.
No, I dropped out.
星啊，呢個有仔要買荷包啊。
係長樣，阿碌碌好似馬騮星咁。
係啊，真係可惜啊，中學都畢唔到業。
我翻嚟啦，係。
Isn't it a little small?
Go to OperationGraduation.com.
Once they've outgrown their toddler seat, they're still not ready for adult safety belts alone. 4'9" is the magic number. Until then, kids need a booster seat. Make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely. Visit boosterseat.gov.
Stevens Point football on the Marshfield 21, 3rd and 7 as we start the 4th quarter. Gregory in the shotgun, 2 receivers on the near side. Gregory gets the snap, rolls towards the near side, stops and throws in the flat, and hits the receiver Horvath, who breaks tackles inside the 15, and then hit from behind, knocked down around the 8-yard line. He'll pick up a 1st down on that play.
Ooh, Horvath, the big, strong kid. He ran through a pretty tough hit that time from Sternweiss, who had him dead to rights and wrapped up around the thighs, but he just shook him off.
And that's a 22-yard gain, a 1st down for Stevens Point. 1st and goal, Spash at the Marshfield 9. Early 4th quarter, Tigers now down 24-7. Vandry, the wideout on the far side. Blake on the near side. Gregory back in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Hands to Colbeck at the 5-yard line and dives down to about the 2. And stopped there in the open field by Zach Schwartz.
Spash offensive line now starting to take charge in this ball game. They've had 2 nice drives for scores, that time blowing a big hole over right guard.
Gain of 7 for Colbeck, 2nd and goal for Stevens Point at the Tiger 2-yard line. Tigers down 14-7 at halftime, but Spash with 10 unanswered points, looking for 7 more right here. Gregory in the shotgun. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls towards the far side, throws in the end zone, wide open. Ford makes the catch for the touchdown. J.T. Ford makes the catch. A 2-yard touchdown pass to cap a 5-play, 24-yard scoring drive, and Stevens Point improves its lead to 30-7.
Bootleg pass there, rolled out to the left side, then found J.T. Ford standing alone by himself in the end zone over the middle.
Ford's 1st touchdown catch of the year. Gregory with 2 touchdown passes tonight, plus a touchdown run. Schmenk's PAT try is on the way, and that kick is good. Our PAT sponsored by Wheelers of Marshfield. Remember, their service department is open Saturdays between 7:30 and 6. 10:47 remaining in this ball game. Our score now, Stevens Point 31 and the Marshfield Tigers 7. Back to Gerke Field in just a moment.
Any questions?
No.
You know.
We're not magicians, we can't read your mind.
We need your questions, each and every kind. Will this react with my other medicine?
Hey, what are all these tests even for? Questions are the answer.
Well, the Marshfield Tigers have given up points on Spash's last 3 possessions. They now trail by 24. The kick by Schmenk is an onside kick and grabbed by a Marshfield up man on the 40-yard line. Onside kick, but a Marshfield Tiger was very alert. Looks like that was a Scotty Owen who fell on the football at the 39-yard line.
Tigers are going to look back at this one, and they're getting blown out at the moment by Spash, but again, penalties, a dropped punt, a couple bad snaps over the head of quarterback in key situations.
And first and goal at the 4.
First and goal at the 4. There's a lot of coulda, shoulda, woulda for this one.
First and 10 Tigers on their own 39. Steeman, here is a reverse, and the Lipke throwing the ball down the center of the field. It's knocked down, incomplete. Sully Lipke came in the ball game. Lined up as a receiver. He got a reverse and threw down the center of the field. Looks like he was looking for Lysecki, and the ball was knocked down by a Spash defender.
2 receivers downfield for Marshfield, and they were both within about 2 yards of each other, but Lipke was not able to reverse his field and come around and throw because there were 2 Spash Panthers there to knock him down as he made that throw.
Second and 10 Tigers at their own 39. Ashbeck at quarterback. High backfield, wideouts on either side. Ashbeck gives to Van Tassel across the 40, breaks a tackle, gets outside of the 45, and still on his feet to about the 48-yard line.
Lysicki out there with a nice block, but he was blocking his man in Van Tassel that time, cutting back inside the block. If he cuts outside Lysicki's block, he's gone.
Still gains 9 on that play. It's 3rd and 1 Tigers, just shy of their own 48-yard line. Lysecki and Marshall, the wideouts. Dolzal and Van Tassel in the eye behind Steeman. Steeman will turn, give to Van Tassel. Not much room, but he fights his way to midfield for the first down. Good effort by T.J. Van Tassel. He has the first down at the 50-yard line.
He hasn't had a lot of touches. That's only his 4th carry in the second half. He has 77 yards.
167 yards and a touchdown for TJ.
Longest run
against
tonight.
Anago last week.
Excuse me, Gene. Longest run of 17 tonight.
First and 10 Tigers at the 50. 9:40 remaining. Spash leads 31-7. Ashbeck in the shotgun. 1 receiver near side, 2 on the far side. Elliott gets the snap. Back to pass, starts to run, gets hit, taken down back at the 47. Loss of 3, and that will be the Tigers, or Stevens Point, second quarterback sack of the night.
I'm not sure what the signaling there was, but just before the play, Ashbeck was looking out here to a wide receiver. I believe it was Lysicki, all by himself with a crossed arms look. And that's exactly where he was going with the ball, but Spash knocked him down.
Second and 13 Tigers at their own 47. Steeman in the shotgun, high snap, gives the ball to Van Tassel. Can't get outside though, hit behind the line, and he'll lose a yard on this play.
Spash doing a pretty nice job of pursuing and tackling right now. Very confident at this point.
Loss of 1, ball's back at the 46, 3rd and 14 for Marshfield. Our drive of the game tonight sponsored by the Driver Education Academy of Marshfield, supporting champion athletes and developing champion drivers for a lifetime of crash-free driving. Ashbeck gets the shotgun snap, looks to pass, has lots of time, throws deep down the far sideline, and Marshall is wide open, makes the catch, and carries inside the 10-yard line. He'll have a first and goal for Marshfield.
Well, there we got to see the arm of Ashbeck because he threw that one on the line about 55 yards, a bullet. coming out here to the left side, couldn't find a receiver, then turned and found Marshall backside going down the far sidelines. A nice throw right on the money.
46 yards on that pass play. It's a 1st and goal for Marshfield at the Spash 8. 8 minutes left in regulation. Tigers trail 31-7. From the eye, Steeman back to pass. Lobs near sideline looking for Lysecki. Goes up and makes the catch for the touchdown.
Nice little push off there too by Lysecki, but they seem to give the offensive receivers a little more leeway when it comes to body bumps in the end zone. No offensive pass interference, goes up high, and Steeman does a nice job of laying it right in the corner of the end zone.
And Chris Steeman with his 2nd touchdown pass of this ball game, 3rd of the year. An 8-yarder to Jake Lysecki to cap a 7-play, 61-yard scoring drive. Gus Utek will try the PAT. Ball is down, kick is on the way, and the kick is good. And we have 7:55 remaining in the 4th quarter. Our score, a service of the Sports Den in Marshfield. Stevens Point 31, Marshfield 14. We'll come back with more football following this message.
Hey, yo, Tim, get on your job, kid. We got school, yo. I see you in the window, man. You want me to do? I got the bus here, man. I got connections. We holding up traffic. Let's go. I'm not letting you waste your life like that, yeah.
Tigers down by 17. Gus Utek kicking off for the Marshfield Tigers. Geezy back in single safety for Spash at the 10-yard line, but Stevens Point looking for an onside kick. It's a long kick, however, and Geezy on the 13 bubbles it, gets it back across the 20, heading for the far sideline. Not much room, though. He'll be pile-drived at the 25.
I guess one of the things I'm happiest with tonight, Gene, from the Tigers' standpoint, I was kind of wondering how they would stand up to the physical challenge tonight, and they've gone toe-to-toe for the most part with Spash. We've seen 2 pretty physical drives by Spash in this ball game, but we've also seen some good line play and some good linebacker play from the Tigers as well. So from that standpoint, they've played okay tonight.
And Stevens Point puts them all in play at their own 25, leading 31-14 with 7:48 remaining in regulation. Bobby Gregorich at quarterback. Vandry and Blake, wide receivers on the far side. Mays back into play, tailback. Snap back to Gregorich. He goes back to pass. Being pursued by Tiger defenders, floats it deep down the center of the field, and a great job by Ford, who comes back for the football and makes the catch at the Marshfield 41-yard line. He cut back in front of Daniel Drock, came back for the ball and made the catch.
Yeah, Drock got sucked into looking into the backfield that time a little bit, let the receiver run by him. That ball was underthrown, and Drock just lost track of it on the play.
And a gain of 34 gives Stevens Point a first down on the Tiger 41-yard line. Vandry and Blake, wideouts both sides. The starting receivers, Nelson and Geezy on the bench here. Mays in a tailback in place of Colbeck. Mays gets the handoff straight ahead to the 35-yard line and stays on his feet inside the 30, pushing down to about the 25. Great job there by Jesse Mays, a junior, who's rushed for only 23 yards coming into this ball game, but has far surpassed that total tonight. He gets 15 more on that run.
And that time, Spash line really came off the ball with a little trap block on the inside as well. Blew a big hole right over the middle.
A gain of 15 for Jesse Mays, a first down for Stevens Point on the Marshfield 26-yard line. Gregorich back in the shotgun once again, gets the snap, pitches to Mays to the far side, and he gets outside but then gets hit. There's a flag down on this play. Logan Schmitz hits him around the 25, forcing him down. There was a Tiger defender on the outside stringing out that play. I believe that was Peterson, and I believe he was held on the play. Penalty coming, I believe, against Stevens Point. Tigers really victimized by penalties early in this ball game. Dale will give us our block of the game during our post-game report this evening. A service of Sternweiss & Sons and their block division, 400 East Arnold Street in Marshfield. The Tigers will decline that penalty. The play will stand. The ball is on the 28-yard line. And it is second and about 12. Mays at tailback, Gregory the quarterback. Wideouts on either side for Stevens Point. Ford now shifts to the far side. And Gregory gives to Mays again to the 25 and fights his way to the 21, pushed back there.
Ball's carried by Jesse Mays.
Logan Schmitz and Ross Hazeroth on that stop. They'll mark him down on the 21, gains 7.
Brings up third and
It's third and about 5 for Stevens Point. Just shy of the Tiger 21-yard line. We're now halfway through the fourth quarter.
Good push again right up the middle. Stevens Point operating out of this short snap offense. A lot of people call it the pistol, where you've got a quarterback back 4 yards and the tailback behind him.
Wideouts come to either side. Gregory stays in the shotgun here. Gets the snap and hands off to a new man in that backfield who goes absolutely nowhere. That was Jacob McFarland, who got hit very hard back at the 24, a loss of 3.
I think some offensive linemen don't particularly like Jacob on that one because they didn't block anybody. So I don't know if Jacob is a very popular player. Nobody blocked anybody. They just let the Tigers come right through on that one.
Ball's back at the 24-yard line, 4th and 8. And Spash will go for it here. Schmenk has one field goal tonight. That was a 35-yarder. This one would be about a 40-yard if he tried one. But they'll go for it on 4th and 8. Blake comes through in motion. Gregory gets the snap, rolls towards the near sideline, stops. Still on his feet at the 30, now starts to run. Gets away from a couple of Tiger tacklers and carries down to the 21 and is stopped there. Several Tigers in on that stop, led by Alex Arendt and also by Ross Zillman. Gregory gains 3 on the play, but the Spash Panthers turn the ball over on downs. Marshfield takes over on their own 21, trailing 31-14 with 4:47 remaining. And so the Tiger offense comes back on the field. Marshfield down by 17 with less than 5 minutes to play. Steeman a quarterback here. Dolzal and Van Tassel in the eye. Slot I formation, slot to the far side. Steeman back to pass here, being rushed, throws to the far sideline and knocked down by a defensive back. That ball going to Peyton Marshall along the far sideline. And Jacob Barnes got in front of Marshall, knocked that ball down. Steeman threw the ball off his back foot, and it really kind of floated out there. It was very tantalizing for the Spash defensive secondary.
Spash coming with a corner blitz, sending a defensive back, Caleb Finn, on the blitz. He was untouched, and Stevens is just lucky he can get up after that one.
2nd and 10 Tigers at their own 21. Lysecki near side. Marshall and Jeremy Robinson on the far side. Ashbeck at quarterback. Ashbeck gets the snap, fakes the inside handoff, being rushed, dumps it far side on the screen, and the ball goes to Josh Shoup, who heads up the far sideline and gets some big yardage across midfield to the Stevens Point 38-yard line.
A little screen pass out to the outside. Shoup just kind of flaring out to the right side, getting behind some blockers. Spash coming on the rush on the blitz again, and that opened up the outside for Shoup.
And a gain of 41 yards. Josh Shoup with his first catch of the year. Boy, you haven't seen too many screen passes from the Tigers recently, but 3 big plays on those screens tonight. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Spash 38. Steeman from the shotgun, back to pass, and throws it deep down the near sideline. Lysecki in double coverage, the ball tipped, incomplete. 2 defenders there on Lysecki at the 5-yard line, and Jake could not bring it in. Incomplete pass.
And Jake actually going up over the top of 2 defenders from Spash and knocking that ball away, trying to make the catch, but was able to get hands on the ball and keep that from being picked off.
So that sets up a 2nd and 10 for Marshfield at the Spash 38-yard line. Lysecki to the near side, Peyton Marshall on the far side. Dolzal and Shoup in the eye behind Ashbeck. Ashbeck set. Elliott turns. Back to pass. Looks like a screen. Dumps it far side. Caught by Dolzal at the 30. Breaks a tackle. He's at the 25 to the 21-yard line. Flags down all over the place along the far sideline. Dolzal carries to the 21. That play would gain 17 if it stands, but it might come back.
Well, if we have illegal lineman downfield, yep, ineligible receiver downfield. Dolzal, who was supposed to catch that on a middle screen, got out ahead of some linemen, but there were some linemen. I think Dolzal was across the line of scrimmage when he caught that, and there were linemen downfield.
So the Tigers will be penalized here.
Another middle screen again.
Yeah.
That's kind of a new wrinkle we haven't seen, as you mentioned. It's nothing that the Tigers haven't run a lot of screens over the years.
Ball comes back to the 43. It's going to be 2nd and 15 for Marshfield. Marshall far side. Lysecki wide on the near side. Dolzal slot to the far side. Shoup in the backfield with Steeman. And there's some flinching going on out there. About 3 guys were flinching, waiting for that snap to be made. And flags go down. Illegal procedure against Marshfield. Ball put back on the 48-yard line. It will now be 2nd and 20. Good time to talk about the car of the game. From Gross Motors of Marshfield, the 2011 Buick Enclave. A stylish, spacious, and well-appointed. A premium car that's not pretentious and smart without being stuffy. The Buick Enclave. See it now at Gross Motors, North Central Avenue in Marshfield. Ashbeck back to pass. Rolling far side. Throws it down the far sideline. Incomplete. Threw that one away. Elliott going further and further back. Just tossed it to the Tiger bench.
No receiver anywhere in the area, but the official's not throwing a flag for grounding.
So 3rd and 20 for Marshfield at the Stevens Point 48-yard line.
Well, you've run your screen. What do you do now in a 3rd down situation? That's something that a team and coaches are usually yelling out, watch the screen on 3rd and long.
Wideouts on both sides. Steeman up under center. Back to pass, being rushed to the far sideline, dumps it off, a low throw, and Dolzal can't handle it at the 45-yard line, incomplete.
Would have gained probably 3 or 4 yards on the play because he was near the sidelines. Again, Steeman under a heavy rush, running backwards as he got rid of that ball, and that's why it came up short, because he was falling away from his throw. Not too many guys can get anything on the ball unless you're Brett Favre. He's about the only guy that I've seen ever be able to do that, falling backwards.
Well, Ashbeck comes in the ball game. The Tigers will go for it on 4th and 20 at the Spash 48-yard line. Tarnowski and Littman to the near side. Lysecki and Marshall on the far side. Tarnowski now goes in motion. Ashbeck gets the snap, back to pass, and throws deep down the far sideline looking for Cody Tarnowski, but throws the ball across the sideline, incomplete.
Again, a big rush. Ashbeck, though, dropping back a couple steps and just kind of heaving it up in the air down the far sidelines, and kind of a hope and a prayer, but no prayer answered there.
You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450, WDLB Marshfield, and on WDLB-WOSQ.com. Sam Gershman producing our broadcast this evening. With Dale Yukaitis, I'm Gene Delisio. 3:25 remaining in the 4th quarter. Stevens Point on top, 31-14. And Spash has the football on their own 48-yard line. Bobby Gregorich stays in the ball game at quarterback. Jesse Mays still in at tailback. And here's a pitch to Mays coming to the near side. Across the 50-yard line to the 45, inside the Marshfield 40. Run down around the 39, a good gain by Jesse Mays, finally tackled by Logan Schmitz, and that will give Stevens Point a first down.
Mays now with 50 yards in the ball game on about 8 carries.
Gets 14 on that play. Stevens Point now making some personnel changes. 1st and 10 for Spash. Tigers make some changes as well.
Jim Kopp in the ball game.
Jim Koff comes in to play in the defensive line in place of Cody Podevels. 1st and 10 Spash, Tiger 38. Gregorich still in a quarterback. gets a high snap and hands the ball off across the 30-yard line. That's a McFarland carrying down to the 30 and stop right there.
Stevens Point will now make a quarterback change. Ethan Fensky will come into play.
All right, Fensky now at quarterback. He's a junior. Second and about 1.5 yards for Spash at the Tiger 30, 2.5 remaining. McFarland still in the ball game at tailback. Fensky taking his time. Gets the snap, gives to McFarland, hit immediately and falls forward to the 30-yard line. Some good penetration that time by Marshfield's John Bagotke. And no gain by McFarland.
Tackled by John Bagotke.
Third and about 2 for Stevens Point at the Marshfield 30. Under 2 minutes remaining in this ball game.
Quinn Krieger now in the ball game for the Tigers. Cody Podevels coming back into the ball game. Dylan Larson out here at a cornerback spot.
Fensky still in the shotgun on 3rd and 2.
Dan Barton at a far cornerback for the Tigers.
Long snap once again, long count, and here's a pass play to the far sideline, a low throw, but it is caught inside the 25 of the 23 for a first down. That ball caught by Cody Griffith at the 23-yard line, gain of 7, and a first down for Stevens Point at the Marshfield 23. Now 90 seconds remaining, and the Tigers trail 31-14. Ethan Zigerlicki in the ball game for Marshfield in the secondary. Matt Shield joining him back there at safety. And Spash going to a tight formation here. They're just going to kneel down a couple of times. And that will end this one. Fensky taking a long snap once again. Now takes a knee with under 1 minute remaining. And he'll do that one more time, and Stevens Point will wrap up their 3rd win of the year. The Tigers will fall to 1-2 for the season. While we're talking about this, we can mention our drive of the game, sponsored by the Driver Education Academy of Marshfield, and certainly the drive of the game, that 12-play, 98-yard scoring drive by Stevens Point in the second quarter, capped by the 10-yard touchdown run by Gregorich to give Spash a 14-0 lead. Once again, Fensky takes a knee, and that will wrap things up. And that is our drive of the game, sponsored by the Driver Education Academy of Marshfield, supporting champion athletes and developing champion drivers for a lifetime of crash-free driving. Our final score tonight, Stevens Point 31 and the Marshfield Tigers 14. We'll have a full recap on our post-game report coming up next.